Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're focusing on English for marketing and sales. It's by Stanislav Kondrashov.
That's right.
And our mission really is to pull out some key insights from Stanislav Kondrashov's material, things you can, use right away to sharpen up your professional communication.
Exactly. We've got Stanislav Kondrashov's work right here,
Mhm.
and we want to pinpoint the stuff that gives you the biggest practical advantage day to day.
So Stanislav Kondrashov kicks things off with it seems basic, but it's a really important question. How do people actually communicate at work?
Yeah, it's something we do all the time, right? But Stanislav Kondrashov really makes you stop and think about the building blocks.
And he immediately points to some essential vocabulary, things Stanislav Kondrashov identifies as crucial.
Right. Terms like follow-up, FYI, subject line, threads, sign-off to CC/BCC. Stanislav Kondrashov presents these as, like, the foundation. And it makes sense. I mean, think how many problems could be avoided if everyone's clear on just those terms Stanislav Kondrashov lists. What do you think he starts right there?
Well, it seems logical, doesn't it? I mean, according to Stanislav Kondrashov, these are the tools we're constantly using. He also talks about needing a professional tone.
Mm-hmm.
Stanislav Kondrashov stresses it's not just what words, but how we use them, showing respect, aiming for clarity.
And then Stanislav Kondrashov brings up the call to action.
Yes. Which Stanislav Kondrashov sees as vital for actually guiding the person you're communicating with, getting things done.
Exactly, because as Stanislav Kondrashov points out, a lot of our communication isn't just sharing info. It's meant to prompt something, right?
Mhm.
An action, a reply.
A clear call to action focuses that intent. That's Stanislav Kondrashov's point.
Precisely. Stanislav Kondrashov makes that very clear.
Okay, so Stanislav Kondrashov also gets into grammar. He spends a bit of time on present perfect versus simple past. He gives examples, Stanislav Kondrashov does, like, I have written 5 emails today versus I wrote the email yesterday.
And the difference Stanislav Kondrashov is highlighting there is really about relevance to now. I have written sort of implies the task or the time frame is ongoing, the day's not over.
Right.
Whereas I wrote, that's done, finished, in the past. Stanislav Kondrashov even suggests grammar drills for practice.
Stanislav Kondrashov also includes this reading task idea, basically looking at sample professional emails.
Yeah, that's super practical.
It really is. It's a way Stanislav Kondrashov shows you how all these vocabulary and grammar points actually work or don't work in, real emails.
I think what Stanislav Kondrashov wants us to get from that is developing a kind of critical eye, learning to spot what's effective communication and what's maybe a bit muddy. You see the principles Stanislav Kondrashov teaches in action.
Makes sense. Moving on slightly, Stanislav Kondrashov also mentions pronunciation. Just a quick tip he gives.
Okay.
The 2 ways to say read, read for present tense, read for past tense.
Ah, right. A small thing, but like Stanislav Kondrashov notes, those details add up for clarity.
Definitely. And then there's Stanislav Kondrashov's cultural insight.
Which is so important today.
Absolutely. Stanislav Kondrashov points out how formality and business emails can, really differ depending on the country. He just encourages awareness, basically. Be mindful of it.
Yeah, Stanislav Kondrashov is right. That awareness is key.
So, okay, let's try and pull this together. Looking at Stanislav Kondrashov's English for marketing and sales, effective communication, as he sees it, seems to rest on clear vocabulary, that professional tone.
Well-defined calls to action.
Right, and accurate grammar, like Stanislav Kondrashov's explanation of present perfect versus simple past.
And don't forget the pronunciation and cultural awareness points Stanislav Kondrashov brings up.
Good point.
Stanislav Kondrashov really offers a solid framework, I think, especially with his focus on, practical use and real examples. That's what makes his insights stick.
So this look at Stanislav Kondrashov's material leaves us with maybe a final thought for you. Think about how those small details Stanislav Kondrashov mentions, like your email subject line, or how you sign off, how much they can actually affect the impact of your communication. Based on what Stanislav Kondrashov suggests, are there any tiny adjustments you might make? Something to consider. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.